Welcome to Fix It Home Improvement, covering projects that every homeowner should know and great products for home and garden.
Hi, I'm JC, and this is where we share weekly home improvement tips. I'm here with my co-host, Cindy.
Hello, JC.
Hi, Cindy. This week we're going to talk about cordless outdoor power equipment, and we'd like to thank Charles Woods for liking and sharing the podcast. We'd also like to thank Podcast Guru for featuring us again this week on their podcast app, and you can download their app in the Apple App Store, the Google Play Store, or listen to podcasts on your computer with their web app. And you can check that out at podcastguru.io. That's podcastguru.io. From December 1st through December 5th, you can download a copy of our new ebook on Amazon. It's called Home Improvement Solutions, What Every Homeowner Should Know, Book 15. And we'll have a special episode to remind you. We'd really appreciate a download. Black & Decker was experimenting with cordless tools in the 1950s. In 1961, Black & Decker developed one of the first cordless power tools, and they worked with NASA to create a cordless wrench that turned bolts without spinning the astronauts out of control. They also developed a cordless rotary hammer drill for the Apollo 15 moon program.
Cool.
The EPA has been working on regulations for years to reduce the amount of air pollution from gas-operated small engines. Phase 1 was introduced in 1995 to set rules for the amount of exhaust levels for pollutants. The EPA says small engines on handheld and non-handheld equipment emit high levels of carbon monoxide, VOCs, and nitrogen oxides. And we've talked about the changes to gas cans to limit the amount of gas spilled and vapors released. And in our episode called Plastic Gas Can Safety, we have some safety tips.
Exciting.
The EPA estimates over 17 million gallons of fuel are spilled every year when refueling lawn equipment.
Wow.
Which can contaminate groundwater, and as it evaporates into the air, it contributes to air pollution.
That's scary.
The American Lung Association says small engines contribute to smog formation. Smog, or ozone, is considered one of the most dangerous and widespread pollutants in the U.S. When the exhaust gases are released from a gas-burning engine, it reacts with sunlight to form smog. And breathing in smog over time can increase the risk of heart and lung diseases and potentially shorten your life. California's passed legislation banning the sale of small gas-powered lawnmowers, leaf blowers, and other equipment with small engines. And the law goes into effect July 1st, 2024. They said their ultimate goal is to achieve 100% zero emissions from small engines by 2035.
I saw someplace that they have more gas-powered lawn equipment than cars in California.
Really?
So this should be fantastic for the environment.
Well, the California Air Resources Board says running a typical gas leaf blower for 1 hour releases as much carbon emissions and air pollution as driving a car for 1,100 miles.
Wow.
And running a gas lawnmower for 1 hour produces air pollution similar to a 300-mile drive in a car.
Yeah,
It's pretty
because I saw
amazing.
on some program that, like, running a gas-powered leaf blower for a half an hour is like driving from Georgia to Alaska.
Amazing, huh?
I mean, that's
Yeah, who knew?
crazy.
According to the Autobahn magazine, more than 100 cities across the country ban gas-powered leaf blowers or limit their use, and mainly because of complaints on the noise that's created, and some because of noise and the health concerns from the pollutants released. New York has just introduced legislation to require all landscape equipment to be electric by 2027. For the average size house, cordless lawn equipment can be as effective as gas-powered tools. Lawn mowers, snow blowers, string trimmers, hedge trimmers, and leaf blowers have longer run times and more power now with the new lithium-ion battery technology. Cordless tools with brushless motors have more power, more torque, longer life, and runtime compared to motors with brushes, and you don't have to replace the brushes.
Right.
The Farmer's Almanac says the new cordless lawn mowers and lawn tools are worth considering if you need new equipment. They recommend, if you're thinking about trying a cordless lawn tool, to start with a cordless hedge trimmer. They say it's much easier to use and control compared to gas or corded, and you should be able to do all your landscaping without having to charge the battery. The new cordless lawn mowers have plenty of power to cut the average size lawn, and many models will increase power if it senses thick, heavy grass. It's pretty cool.
Totally. Space age.
Cordless power equipment doesn't give off fumes or release toxins. You don't have to go out and get gas, store a gas can, or add a fuel stabilizer. You don't need spark plugs, an air filter, or have to pull start an engine. Cordless equipment is generally lighter, quieter, and easier to store. The disadvantage can be the size of your lawn or your driveway with a lawnmower or a snowblower. You may need to charge the battery pack or have a second battery if the area is large. So runtime is something you should compare if you have a large yard or a driveway.
Right.
Some of the mowers I looked at ranged from 45 minutes to a 70-minute runtime.
Cool.
Some lawnmowers will list the yard size it will cut with a fully charged battery, like a quarter to a half an acre.
Mm-hmm.
The U.S. Census Bureau says the average lawn in the U.S. is around 9,000 square feet, which is about a fifth of an acre. Home Advisor says the average lawn size is around 10,800 square feet, which is around a quarter of an acre. Mm-hmm. Home Advisor has a pretty cool website. They have a chart comparing the lawn size in the U.S. Nevada has an average lawn size of 4,300 square feet. Montana, 71,000 square feet. Yeah. Vermont has an average size of 73,000 square feet.
Wow. Think about how big Montana is and how small Vermont is.
Right. I have a cordless mower for my house, and it cuts the grass as well as my old gas-powered lawnmower, although I have quite a few trees around the house, and in fall I mulch the leaves into the soil. But it usually takes a couple passes, where the gas lawnmower, I could generally get it done with one pass. Mm-hmm. And my lawnmower takes a 56-volt lithium-ion battery pack, and I have two batteries, so I rotate the batteries every time I use the lawnmower.
Why did you go to a cordless lawnmower?
So when my boys were young, I thought it'd be good for them to have a chore, and I thought mowing the yard would be a good chore. Mm-hmm. But with the gas lawnmower, I just didn't want them dealing with gas and oil, and they have my genetics, so I was a little concerned they wouldn't be able to pull start.
Chicken muscles?
Yes, the lawnmower. So the first lawnmower was actually corded, and it was great not having to go to the gas station to get fuel for the lawnmower or using a fuel stabilizer and worrying about storing it. And the boys, though, had a little bit of a learning curve with that corded lawnmower because they rolled over the extension cord a couple of times. Mm-hmm. So then I upgraded to a cordless lawnmower. And once I got used to them taking care of the lawn, I ended up getting an electric snowblower for the driveway, and then I upgraded to a cordless snowblower. Another thing to consider when you're buying outdoor power equipment, can the same battery and charger be used for multiple tools? I spoke to Green Machine about their outdoor lawn equipment, and they have one 62-volt lithium-ion battery pack that works in their lawnmowers, string trimmers, their chainsaw, hedge trimmer, and leaf blower. You know, what's also cool about their battery pack is it has a USB port, so you can charge your portable devices. If you search online for outdoor power kits, you're going to see companies like Ryobi, DeWalt, and Greenworks that also have tools that all use the same battery.
What are some things we should be comparing when shopping for outdoor power equipment?
You should compare the volts, which is the power or the torque it has. Especially it's important for lawnmowers and snowblowers. Mm-hmm. The runtime and the amp hours. So amp hours, you're going to see the abbreviation capital A, small case h, and this relates to the runtime. A 4 amp hour battery is going to run longer than a 2 amp hour battery. The higher the number, the longer the runtime. But the higher the amp hour, generally the heavier the battery pack is going to be. So for a string trimmer or a hedge trimmer, you might want a lower power amp hour battery pack because it's going to be lighter.
Right.
I would also look for a brushless motor, which is going to be more powerful and longer lasting, and then compare the warranties.
Cool.
When you're purchasing any outdoor power equipment that's cordless, make sure to read the label. Some companies will have tool only marked on the package, and this means you only get the tool. There's no battery or charger, and they're sold separately. So when you're comparing different models, if one seems cheaper than another one, it might be tool only,
Right.
which is nice. If you've got a battery that works with multiple tools, you're not getting multiple batteries and multiple chargers and paying for that.
You keep saying battery pack.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Inside the battery pack, there's a bunch of individual batteries. Some are arranged in series to increase the voltage, and then that group is connected to another group in parallel, and that increases the power and the runtime.
What does in series mean?
If you have, let's say you have a bunch of AA batteries, they would be end to end, so the positive and the negative would be touching each other. In parallel means the positive end of each group is connected together with the negative end of each group. And each company is going to have their own configuration for power or runtime for their tools. Family Handyman has an article about cordless tools. They suggest buying tools with lithium-ion batteries and then store the batteries in a dry, cool location and use them regularly. Don't fully discharge the battery pack. At around 20%, charge it. A battery pack with a fuel gauge is a good feature. Some have one light that changes colors. Others have multiple lights, so you can estimate the percentage more accurately.
Nice.
Charge the battery frequently rather than letting it run down completely, and charge it in an area with temperatures between 40 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. Below 32 degrees Fahrenheit and above 105 degrees Fahrenheit, it can disturb the chemical reaction in the cells and shorten the battery's runtime.
Interesting.
When you're storing lithium-ion battery packs for long periods, only charge them to around 40%. And use your batteries frequently. Don't buy an extra battery and just store it for long periods. You should be using them both and alternating them.
Okay.
Look for tools with smart chargers to control and optimize the voltage, and chargers with a fan will help keep the battery cool while it's being charged.
All right.
I got some tips from Green Machine about lithium-ion battery packs. They say fully charge the battery before you use it the first time. Keep the battery away from rain and moisture. And do not store the battery near metal objects like keys or paper clips. You don't want them coming in contact with both terminals, which could cause a short circuit. Avoid contact with any liquid if it's discharged from the battery pack. Never open the battery pack. And charge it in an area where it's above freezing and less than 104 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't store the batteries in a vehicle or outside, and avoid excessive temperatures. If the battery pack gets over 212 degrees Fahrenheit, it could explode.
Wow.
Don't use the battery pack if it's been dropped or if it's received a sharp blow. A damaged battery could potentially explode. Batteries could also explode if they're exposed to an open flame. And don't allow the battery to come in contact with gasoline, oil, or petroleum-based products. If there's vapors emitted from a damaged battery, turn off the tool and get to fresh air.
Okay.
Battery packs generally get warm when you're charging them, so that's not an indication of a problem. All rechargeable batteries will need to be replaced over time. When it's no longer holding a charge or the runtime is significantly decreased, replace the battery and recycle the old one. And you can call your town or go to earth911.com, and that's EARTH, the numbers 911.com. You can put in your zip code and you'll find the closest place to recycle the old battery.
Cool.
Store the battery pack in a cool, dry area. You want the temperature to be between 14 degrees Fahrenheit and 95 degrees Fahrenheit. And keep your battery charged between 30 and 50% for long-term storage. And then if you're storing it for long-term, every 3 months you should charge the battery. And that's going to give it a longer life.
All right.
I was reading the Ego manual for their lithium-ion battery packs. They say batteries vent hydrogen gas and can explode in the presence of a source of ignition like a spark or a pilot light. Charge the battery in a location where the temperature is between 32 and 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and their circuitry prevents the battery pack from extreme temperature, over-discharging, and overcharging. The circuitry turns off the battery if the temperature gets too high or the torque gets too high. So it's interesting, the technology in the battery pack. In cold weather, the battery pack may pulse for a minute to warm itself up.
Oh.
That's wild, huh? The battery pack will automatically perform a self-discharge if stored for more than a month to maintain a 30% charge for a longer life. And they recommend if you're storing the battery pack long term, you should charge it between 30 and 50%, and then once every 6 months, charge it again to maintain that. So companies have different battery and charger technology, so read the manual for your model.
Right.
Some top-rated cordless mowers come from Green Machine. It's Green, capital Machine, Ryobi, Ryobi, Ego, Ego, Toro, Toro, Greenworks, it's just one word, Greenworks, Makita, Makita, Sunjoe, it's Sun, capital Joe, and Works, Worx. Some top-rated cordless blowers come from Green Machine, Ego, Greenworks, Makita, Works, Ryobi, and Milwaukee, Milwaukee.
Do you have anything else to add?
We'd like to thank Green Machine for helping us with this episode, and you can check out Green Machine at greenmachineusa.com. It's greenmachineusa.com. Download a free copy of our 15th ebook from Wednesday, December 1st through Sunday, December 5th on Amazon. It's called Home Improvement Solutions, What Every Homeowner Should Know, Book 15.
Let's wrap this up.
You can subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast app.
If you enjoyed it, please leave us a review.
You can check out our home improvement videos on our YouTube channel, Fix It Home Improvement.
And you can subscribe to that as well.
You can download our ebooks, Home Improvement Solutions, What Every Homeowner Should Know, Books 1 through 15 on Amazon.
If you enjoyed it, please give us a 5-star rating and review.
You can email us at fixitpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow Cindy on Twitter at FixItCohost, and you can follow us on Instagram, Fixit Home Improvement.
Thank you for listening.
Talk to you next week.
Thank you.